What's up? This is Wrestling with Love,
your ultimate tag team for all things wrestling.
I'm Lwazi.
And I'm Achi.
Let's get into it! And there's so much to get into. WrestleMania 41, Night 1, Night 2. But actually before that, I want us to start off with WrestleMania Smackdown because there were a lot of noteworthy things that took place. Like, let's start off with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Our boy, Melo Don't Miss, Camilla Hayes, he got the victory. We were so happy about this.
Yeah, like it's been a long time coming, and I think I've ranted on here before just talking about how like he's the number one SmackDown draft. Like, why hasn't he been at the top? Like, why haven't we been doing much with him? So to finally see him like get that victory on WrestleMania weekend, it's just like,
I actually feel like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal needs to go back to WrestleMania because that's where it used to be, because there were so many big stars that I felt needed to shine at Mania. And I was worried, hey, Melo might not win this because we had Karrion Kross. I thought he was dope. We also had The Miz. We had Nakamura. Ray Phoenix as well was a big one. And he was the only one who got a proper entrance. So I was like, okay, this is going to Ray. He's the new star, but can't.
I'm going to call you out.
Oh?
Because you were going on just the other day about how like WrestleMania weekend is so stacked. Like there's so much going on as is, and 7 matches for each night. So it's like, it's long. It's a lot. Now to add in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Let's put it on the countdown show then, because the countdown show, we watched both nights and it was 3 hours flat out. So how about doing that if it's not going to be on the main card? So
I hear you.
But nonetheless, it was still good to see Melo winning, and I like the fact that he got to celebrate with The Miz afterwards, especially because Miz saved him in the match.
Actually, like The Miz literally sacrificed himself. Like I was like, okay, like I'm starting to buy into this tag team now. Can they please like not break up? Like can we do something for quite a while? Because when Miz was with
R-Truth.
Yeah, with R-Truth. I don't know what's happening. When he was with R-Truth, like Sharp, they were together, but it's like Miz wasn't really feeling R-Truth like that within the tag team. So it's just like, okay, it seems like there's a brotherhood like happening here. The fact that he sacrificed himself, for me, that's the biggest thing.
Melo Don't Miss, they are ours, him. So bright future for them, I think. So I was very happy about that. I know you were as well. Yeah. Then the other, speaking of tag teams in a way, the WWE tag team titles, we have to speak about that once again, because I think there was a glimmer of hope, but last minute they're going to put it on the Mania card. They didn't. So we had Street Profits defending against MCMG. Match ended in a DQ, and then DIY came through. They stole the titles, and we were thinking, okay, we're going to get the match.
He's going to announce and be like, okay, at Mania. Then
TLC match like for next week. What? I was fuming at that. I was not happy.
Like, what did they do to deserve this?
But you know what? I've got a theory now. I feel like they felt that the TLC match might overshine everything else at Mania. So they just like, sorry guys, but we have to cool it off. Because
outshine what?
Yo, okay. On that note, you guys can just get the sense of how Ati's feeling about Mania 41. I think we were also hyped. Expectations were very, very high. But it was a bit of a mixed bag. So let's start off. First match, Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Yeah. Jey Uso coming through with a special entrance, the flag people, cheerleaders.
I actually want to touch on that first.
Okay.
I expected more from Jey Uso's entrance.
Sure.
Like, can we not see what we see like every week? And yes, he had the people coming on the stage with the flags. First it was the DJ. I actually thought he was the DJ.
I thought it was the DJ as well.
And then it's like, cool, now we have the flags. And it's just like, okay, what's going on? Where's he gonna like come from and everything? Like, I think actually like thinking about it now, like that DJ like coming up from the stage, that being Jey Uso would have been cool.
True.
And it's just like, okay, Sharp, you're the new people's champ, I'm assuming, with your entrance and everything. But it's like just him coming from the crowd. Like, he does that. Like, I was expecting something bizarre, like yeet from the air, like he flying or something.
That should have been
like,
cool.
Land in the ring, like do something like spectacular. I was expecting much more, especially considering the results now. But it's just like,
for me, when I saw he's actually gonna walk through the stadium, I was like, this is gonna be long, the entrance alone. And just going back to him maybe flying in the stadium, they are capable of that. We've seen Shawn Michaels has done it before, Logan Paul, Mania 39. So I get your perspective there. I also would have loved Gunther to get a special entrance because he's been so dominant for so many years as a champion. So have a choir singing Gunther.
Right.
Something like that.
His song slap.
It goes in. So fine, entrances aside, I think also the expectations was that because Jey Uso said that, the Lord must forgive me for what I'm about to do to Gunther. We thought it would be more brutal, more aggressive, but it was a normal match.
I wanted to see blood.
We deserved it after Gunther bloodied Jimmy Uso. So come on, make Gunther bleed. And then it would have made sense with the finish then as well.
Yeah, because you've worn him out. Like he's dusted, but it's just like not much had been done to Gunther at that point. So for him to tap out.
A whole Gunther. For me, it's unbelievable. I can't wrap my head around it, especially because you didn't work on any body part really.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of spears, a couple of splashes, but just like the end, it was quick. It wasn't even a thing of like, okay, it's taking forever. It was just like, oh, okay, it's choking me out. And I've seen theories. People are saying that, it's to prove that, okay, he's heard the complaints online. He's got more than 5 moves. So he did a power bomb of Gunther, did the sleeper hold of Gunther. But still, we didn't really celebrate the way we should have. It wasn't that Cody Rhodes finished the story moment. Yeah.
The silence we had, it was just like unbelief. Is it disbelief?
Disbelief.
Disbelief. Sorry.
But a nice moment though was Jimmy coming out at the end, the brothers hugging it out. I thought that was quite nice.
Special. Yeah. Even though I don't know, something was just like, whoa, is Jimmy
what if
gonna
he turns?
turn?
But for me, I was like, nah, he turned already last year, so he can't turn again. We wouldn't really buy into it, and especially because their match at Mania last year got a lot of flack. So I was like, nah, they can't do it. So in the end, I think the right decision.
Yeah.
Jey Uso getting the W.
I mean, this might be irrelevant, but like considering his hotel room.
Oh yeah, we saw in the countdown. We're like, what? It's a whole house.
Literally like a champion stays here. Okay. Right. So at least he was treated good, in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But that's the first match. I expected more, but the results feel good. Good moment. Happy for Jay, and let's just see, what's going to happen now and what happens with Gunther now. Okay, actually,
we already know with Raw after Mania. Yeah, I like where they're going. I think let's make Gunther a monster.
Yeah.
Him choking out Michael Cole, choking out Pat McAfee. Let's go. I think McAfee's wrestled before, so we can have him and Gunther at some big event, maybe even SummerSlam. I don't know. And then for Jay, I like that already. We're kind of sowing the seeds. I think Sammy versus Jey Uso is a big money match. Sammy Uso.
But like that moment in the ring with
he nearly
Jey
betrayed
Uso,
him,
Jimmy, and Sami Zayn, the handshake.
The triple. It was nice, but that's why it's gonna be even more heartbreaking. Imagine. And you could hear the crowd. They were like, no, when Sammy stood behind Jay,
right?
But then nothing happened. And then it took forever for them to leave the ring. It was like, okay, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? And especially Sami Zayn, his experience before, after winning a title, your best friend betraying you on the ramp. KO's done it before in NXT. So they're going to hold off on that, and I think that's good. That's also a SummerSlam worthy match, So, really good start of his reign, we'd say, even if the match, weren't quite feeling it. And then second match.
There were just some really feel-good moments, like with him also, post-show as well, just like how he was speaking. It's like, he really deserves this. So I just want to leave it on that note. Congratulations, Jey Uso.
Yeah, give him some love. Then match number 2, we had New Day challenging the War Raiders for the World Tag Team titles. For me, the most significant thing was just them cheating to win the New Day and then running up the ramp.
Like, you won. Why are we running? Why are you running? Like literally.
That was funny.
But like, I'm so happy because I this is the result I wanted.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm really happy about this. Let's see what they're gonna do. And I just really want them to come over as like these true like heels now, not really caring about anyone. And it's just like, you know what? We have said we are the best tag team. Ever.
Yeah.
So
numbers don't lie. 13-time tag team champions now. I'm counting the NXT tag team titles.
Not you, child.
Yeah, no, yeah. So New Day, definitely, I think they've solidified themselves. Let's hope they get good opponents. I said last week on our predictions episode, the likes of Fraxium, I think, especially now they lost at NXT Stand and Deliver. They need to be called up. And we saw maybe, the likes of, Alpha Academy could be challengers in future. War Raiders also not done with New Day. So we'll have to see how all of that goes. Next match for night 1, we had the one we were really looking forward to, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I was very surprised. So early on the card, I was like, what? I thought it would be like towards the end.
But no, Let's start here.
No, you're gonna go with this. You were fuming. Yo.
Naomi's song.
It was last week on our episode. I asked Def Rebel, please, guys, cook up something dope.
Like,
and then
it does. I think it just doesn't suit
her. Yeah, that's the problem.
And like her person, like it seems too.
It's the rock
vibe.
Nah.
Like Naomi doesn't give that vibe. Like I was expecting something
like
like bad ASS,
Yeah.
So like, because it should also be a thing, like while she's walking down, she's feeling herself, and Nati, we're just like, okay, like the beat is really like going in, I don't know what was going there.
And I know some people will argue that no, because she's a heel now, they did it so that we don't like her at all. But
no,
Roman Reigns, you made the example. Roman Reigns,
we love his music. Gunther, we were literally just saying now we love his music. So it's just like you can be a heel, but like with a good song, because also have the good song to put you up there even more, because like it's the aura. It's all about the aura, and that song does not give that aura.
I was happy though, at least they put up some tape there. It had like third wheel, all these kind of criticisms that you could say she had with the big three. So it was cool just seeing her have her moment, and especially because like just 2 years ago, she wasn't in the company. Now, singles match, you also pointed out she was on the stadium, the decorations or whatever it is they call it, the poster. That was really dope for them. That was very nice. And then Jade Coggle, special entrance for her as well, the weather report. Even though like how you said with Jey Uso, him coming from below, I would have liked, the storm is coming. Then she elevates up. Oh, that would have been cool.
But the weather report was actually like cool. Something cool.
Yeah.
She says, okay, I'm feeling this. And they also really put on a good match.
Yeah, I thought it was solid. The moment of the match for me was where Naomi was jumping onto Jade. Jade caught her in a suplex position, like mid-air. The power of Jade Coggle, I was like, what? So that was really cool. But that being said as well, I think Naomi stood out the most for me. And I think I wanted to have a title by the end of this year, somehow, US or IC, whichever, but she needs to be a champion.
Okay, I'm not going to touch on it now, maybe later, but like this whole thing with the title and Naomi.
Okay, bank it somewhere.
Yeah, need to remember. But yeah, no, overall, I think the match gave what it was supposed to give. But like, so far, like with this like Mania, I was just like, because Mania is like the biggest stage of them all. Like I wanted to see more with people's entrances, and I think that was like affecting me.
Your mood,
because I'm ready to be wowed. I'm ready to be blown away. We are in Las Vegas. Like we're in Las Vegas. The stage itself was
impressive,
so massive. There's people even sitting like on the stage,
and they had nice couches. I was like, okay, that's dope.
I was just like expecting like more. So like so far, I would say like I was a bit
underwhelmed somewhat, maybe you can say. They tried at least with the next match, US title on the line, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. LA Knight coming through with the Maserati. That was nice.
Yes.
That
was
goodness. Very dope. And speaking of entrances as well, Jacob Fatu coming out with Solo, but Solo staying at the top of the ramp.
Going down.
I was like, okay, this is interesting, and he didn't do anything for the whole match.
What's that? That title LA Knight had in NXT, the $1
million championship.
Yeah, like him coming with the Maserati, like it gave that
vibe.
I was like,
that would have been cool.
Are we
They
doing
didn't
this
have
again? The window rolling down. It's just like,
and it was perfectly timed. That was really cool. Even having Ted DiBiase would have been nice, like tying into that idea. But yeah, I thought this was also a good match, and just really a coming out party for Fatu even more, because he did it on his own, no shenanigans. And I think that was the best move to do, because now you've got a couple of months until SummerSlam. Let's build it to their Solo versus Jacob. I think that's the big money match. And also, I think now Jacob Fatu is definitely, they told us he's the star of the future WrestleMania main eventer. And I think it's going to be similar to how Cena was, because he won the US title Mania 20, Mania 21, he won the WWE title. So it could be a similar thing for Fatu. Who knows? In a year's time. He just oozes like swag, that guy.
But like, I can't believe it. It's like,
he's our US, because you were like, no, can we have him really? As representing the entire America.
Literally. Or is he going to be reformed? Like, what's going to happen?
How reformed, man.
Nah.
Like, yeah, they wouldn't have signed him if he's not reformed.
Oh,
Somewhat.
my
Even though he still
gosh.
like kills people in the ring. But anyways, yeah. So that was pretty cool. Fatu, our new champion, we both wanted that. No, actually, you wanted LA Knight.
LA
Yeah.
Knight to
So
retain.
sorry for you. So I was on a roll. I was very happy. We can even keep some tallies going there. Shame, okay, we won't. It's fine. For your sake.
We'll see.
But Fatu getting the W, I thought that was cool. And then next match, King, that we had El Grande Americano taking on Rey, but not Rey Mysterio, Rey Phoenix. And I know you've got a lot of thoughts regarding Mysterio last minute getting injured on SmackDown.
For like, the thing is, there's 3 things that changed.
Oh, the
Mania.
entire Mania card.
Exactly.
Okay, yes.
And I was saying this to you while we were watching the SmackDown before Mania. If you have a WrestleMania match, you have no business being in a fight prior to WrestleMania. Especially the day before.
I agree.
You have no business. And my thing is, Rey Mysterio is the one that asked for that match. And I'm just like,
and I remember our reaction were like, why are we having the 6-man tag? We don't need it.
Why would you do that? Knowing that you are fighting this fraud of a luchador tomorrow.
And for me, what's also interesting, I didn't actually see how Rey got injured, but the way they handled it told me, okay, it's legit, because there was no mention of, oh, he's injured or whatever. And even when they won LWO, they didn't show Rey at all. So I was like, okay, this is serious.
Yeah. So I
must be a concussion.
Yeah, I hated for him, because just to have him at Mania, same year as his son. But we'll touch on that later.
Yeah.
But it's just to have both of them, at Mania the same year. And my thing is, the process now of this who gets selected. Did he get selected purely because they're both Rays, or
I think
how
for
did
me,
we get to Rey Phoenix? We have for instance, Santos. I would have loved to see Santos. Yes, we haven't seen him do much as of late, but it's just like, Rey, you just arrived.
For me, exactly, because he just arrived, I think it made sense. I'm pretty sure they spent a lot of money to acquire Rey Phoenix. So this was actually amazing to provide an opportunity to showcase him. He's a big star, clearly. So it made sense. And also Santos, for me, his character wouldn't make sense. Why is he fighting El Grande? Because he's a heel.
But then it would have made sense knowing the results now. Why are we sacrificing Rey Phoenix? Because we're trying to put
Do you
him
like
over,
Rey Phoenix or you do
and
not
you
like Rey
lose
Phoenix? So what?
to El Grande.
El Grande, he's the greatest luchador of all time. He goes way back from the 40s. Have you seen those video packages? They're like gold and white, not even black and white. He's a hero. Numero uno, El Grande, Americano. So for me, I thought it was great. And I don't know, the whole metal thing in his mask is so funny. But I loved everything about this. And also, I like the fact that it's setting up a future feud. I think Vikingo versus El Grande at Worlds Collide could happen. We saw the big announcement.
Is El Grande going to be featured? Oh, is he really going to be featured on that?
I think he should. He's a luchador. Why not? From the Gulf of America, right? Come on.
Well, actually, speaking about that, because when they made the announcement
for the acquisition of AAA,
why wasn't Dominic Mysterio there? Is he not a luchador?
Fine, but Kalogi, he's got bad blood with his father.
So you see, we're able to exclude people, right? Exactly.
Anything else from the El Grande match that stood out you want to talk about before moving on?
As much as I've been hating on El Grande, not really hating, but it's just like, bro, come on.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. I loved the outcome. I loved
same
it.
here. That's why, let's milk it for all it's worth. We have no idea who he is. Will we ever find out? I don't know. But so really good match, I think, in the end. Nice for Phoenix to get a Mania moment. After just being on the roster for a couple of weeks. That's incredible. Then, one of the really big matches I was looking forward to, WWE Women's Championship on the line. Tiffany Stratton coming out in her Barbie boxes. I couldn't even tell which one is Tiffany. She took on Charlotte Flair, coming out with the Rolls Royce, just regal there. It was really nice for both women.
But Charlotte though,
Oh, the color scheme, ne?
yeah, because she was like, she gave us a hint. She was like, "Oh, I'll be wearing 2 of my favorite colors."
Yeah,
and
she
then,
said that Hall of Fame.
You know, so now like you came out as like you're wearing pink and blue. I'm like, since when?
Oh, pink.
Was pink? Because I've never seen her in pink. She's mostly in blue, if anything. And then also now getting into the match, like as soon as it started, I was like, actually I can't tell which one is which, the blonde, the pink. Like I actually couldn't tell them apart. So I'm also just thinking now, is Charlotte like having an identity crisis? Is she seeing that, okay, like Tiffany actually is who she says like she is? So is Charlotte a little bit threatened by Tiffany? So she's trying to be more like her, essentially.
And that reminds me of the Chicago episode where, you know, the promo just went to hell. They were both wearing like that black lace kind of look.
You know,
so it ties into your thing. I don't know. Yeah, but thoughts on the match? Because I thought it was a very solid match, but it didn't really wow me.
Poor Tiffany. Actually, because Tiffany was banged up.
Bruise on the forehead, chipped tooth.
Like she was and like for me it was like, okay, like the match was okay, like it was good,
it was fine,
but I'm just like, Tiffany, how did you
land up like that?
Because Charlotte is still fine. Like, so
and you were saying even
confusing.
that, like, I mean, you've seen worse matches, just Elimination Chamber, that unsanctioned match, KO versus Sami Zayn, so brutal, barbed wire, all
and
sorts
I've
of things.
never seen people in that
shape,
state before, you know? So I really hope, like, she's, like, genuinely okay, because, like, in the post-throw, she was like, you know, nothing really was kicking in, but, like, now afterwards, like, it's starting to sink in. So, like,
when the adrenaline dies down.
So I'm just, but I mean, at the end of the day, we were not in that ring. We will
maybe
not
Charlotte
know
was
the
just
brutality
some
of it all.
jabs.
Hey!
And you know how real she feels about this whole thing, you know, getting your whole business dragged in public. And I really hope now with the result, Tiffany winning, I was so happy about this, even though I thought they won't actually do it. The fact that they did it, I was very happy.
Shocked.
Nah, I was very shocked
I was
as well.
expecting Charlotte to take this, but it's like,
And I think now another opportunity for us to rebuild Charlotte. Let's bring more depth to her character. That interview she had with Wade on the Countdown show was amazing. And I felt like we should have done that before the Rumble so that when she wins the Rumble, you know, it doesn't feel like, oh, she just won it. It's like, you know, we sympathize with what she went through with her marriage, with her injury, all of that.
And just like her journey, like as a whole, because like I haven't been like the biggest Charlotte fan.
Makes the two of us.
And it's just like actually with that interview, I was like, ooh, like
you're
tugging at my heartstrings, And it's just like we actually like needed that, like before, you know, Mania and all that other stuff. But it's just like actually, because the thing is with Tiffany, I feel like Tiffany can't decide if she's a heel or a face. So I think let's just make Tiffany like a heel,
right? Yeah,
like let's just do that, and then like, you know, try this with Charlotte, make her the face, because actually I'm genuinely like feeling bad for her, and if anything, I'm starting to feel bad for everything I said, because I'm just like, you know, like there's actually a lot to her in which I don't think Charlotte has let us in like that before. So I think that was very refreshing actually to see.
It's still Tiffy time, so happiness from my side there. And then Kengo, let's move over to night one's main event, the triple threat match. I'm saying it now, this match of the night, match of the weekend, contender for match of the year, because all three of these guys pulled out all the stops, starting from the entrances. I think Seth with the flamethrower, he was all black, then it went black, then
and
he changes to white. Shades have thorns on it. He was giving Jesus vibes to Easter weekend, you know. That was cool. Roman Reigns coming through second. I was surprised.
Oh, and his entrance was so like hot,
top notch.
You know, like
seeing his family on those screens.
I don't know why you family
they came down on the
him.
ramp.
So he wasn't alone actually. Yes, the wise man wasn't there with him, but he wasn't alone. Like it was actually so nice seeing those screens coming down, like his family. His true family was there with him.
His father, his uncle.
Know?
It was really dope. That was nice. Then Punk comes through. They did a video package for him, just showing like his history, and then Kengo comes out to the people who created his song, Cult of Personality, in Living Color. We weren't very impressed though with that performance. We were like, okay, maybe we'll stick to the song itself. Yeah, but it was still a nice moment for Punk.
And they went all out for like all three of them actually, like with their entrances, which like wasn't definitive, because sometimes we can tell through the entrances with who's going to win.
Oh yes, yeah,
You know, so
that's
it's
true.
just
But
like,
yeah, all of them treated as big stars. And then for me, the match from start to finish was incredible. So many near falls, but they did it in such a way that it didn't feel like it's just finisher. It was all very tactfully done.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it so much. Not to mention again with the actual ending, Heyman, he's like, "Hi, no one's gonna win here," almost grabs the chair, and then you see Punk and Roman. They're looking at him. He gives the chair to Punk. As Punk is going to hit Roman, low blow, gives the chair to Roman Reigns.
Roman's out here gloating.
Whenever Roman gloats, you just know it's going to flop in his face.
And you literally said that, and I'm just like, okay, like he's laughing a bit too hard. And like Heyman is really there selling. It's like, here's the opportunity, you know, like the Shield. Because, you know, Seth had his back to them. It's like, take the chair, and then Roman pushes him to the side, and then boom!
You didn't need to do that part.
Why did he just?
And then for me, it was so iconic. Seth letting everything happen without even looking back. It was just, and then gets the chair from Heyman. And then Heyman, he had that look of like, you know, someone who's just shot someone. Just walking off. That was cinema. Then Seth once again, chair shot to Roman's back, stomp, 1, 2, 3. Even the camera angle, they did this perfectly. And I just feel like now Seth is so in Roman's head because Roman still hasn't beaten Seth in a big one-on-one match or a match like this. So Heist of the Century Part 2, this was just beautiful.
No, it saved
Mania Night 1. Yeah, because I think the mood was like, okay, all of the matches were good, but nothing was really spectacular.
Mind blowing. Because like we didn't say, oh, that was an awful match, like for anything. So yeah, it was good.
It was fine, yeah.
It was good for SmackDown.
But then, interesting, then Triple H addresses that in the post-show because in the press room, he says, but he looked at this Mania as like an album. So he said, like, you don't just put banger song after banger song after banger song.
Yeah.
So that's his logic, but I don't know whether us and the fans in general really like that. I don't know. Yeah.
We don't.
Just give us all bangers. That's what you want.
Banger after banger after banger.
But yeah, at least we were really hyped to end of night 1. So that was really cool. And what a moment just seeing Seth, you know, celebrating with Heyman. Then we move over to night 2. We started off with Bianca versus Io versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title. And Bianca's entrance, we had high expectations for it.
I had huge expectations for, because one thing about Bianca, she will kill her entrances.
Yeah, I mean the past 3 Manias have been top notch. Yeah.
So like, this one.
Yeah, just people skipping and okay, fine. The moment with Montez's daughter, fine, cool. But
that was nice, but it was nice.
Yeah, it wasn't like spectacular, really. So fine, and then really good match. I don't know if I agree with the commentators and some analysts, but like it was the match of that night. I'm not quite sure about that, but it was a really solid match, and the finish, especially with the over the moonsault onto Bianca and Rhea, that was dope.
Because it did like reach a moment where actually I didn't know who's going to take it, but actually I want to touch on something.
Oh yeah.
The crowd confused me so much, and this all actually stems from even Smackdown
and Road to Mania Europe tour. Actually,
like, why is Bianca getting booed?
She's the one in the right in this whole situation.
She literally did nothing wrong. Homegirl won the Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
She hasn't been interfering with anybody. Io had a match Rhea had a match with Io. I'm making it seem like Io was in the wrong. Rhea had a match with Io in which Rhea sabotaged herself but not focusing on her opponent and instead focusing on Bianca. Bianca didn't do nothing. But why are we booing Bianca? Why not Rhea? Because Rhea did sabotage herself. And now she's inserting herself in something that doesn't involve her. Did you win Elimination Chamber? No.
Yeah, and even Big E brought it up on the Countdown show, Buzz. Kipan, why are people booing Bianca? So
it does not make sense, and it actually left such a bitter taste in my mouth because I'm just like, I'm not understanding this. Like, is there another Smackdown or another Raw that happened that was not broadcasted in South Africa? Like, did we miss something?
Yeah, it couldn't off, but nonetheless, Io Sky, retaining her title, I think that was the right decision because otherwise then she would have been the afterthought. So that was good for me, I felt. Unfortunate though, Bianca lost her singles winning streak.
Exactly. Do you see this now? But yeah, Io retained her.
She's won like every triple threat match she's ever been in. So it's like 4-0 now. So that's an interesting stat. I never knew of that.
We wouldn't have had to have a triple threat if Rhea didn't insert herself. Then Bianca was still going to retain her
streak.
Her streak, and
Maybe.
Io wouldn't have been affected because it's not triple.
And Rhea's even more confusing because now Raw after Mania, we see her coming to save Io when she was being attacked by Julia and Roxanne. That whole segment was very confusing, to be honest. I'm like, I don't know what's cooking here. It's like, okay, Roxanne's getting a title match, but she ditched Cora in the countdown to Stand and Deliver.
And actually, if anything, when Stephanie came out on the Raw after Mania, like I thought it was like, oh, like big ups, like congratulations, and it's like what
we're both champs.
I think you alluded like to this. Okay, let's hope this gets done. But like Stephanie and like Io maybe like teaming up together.
Oh yes,
and then we have Oscar.
And Kairi Sane coming through. Yes, that was my booking.
And the thing is, we were watching Raw thinking that's gonna happen.
But I actually said to you, but I don't want to tell you this until after the segment because now I've sown the seed.
Like,
now you're expecting it, and then it doesn't happen. Then it's like, it would have been cool.
I liked your booking, but
hi me, guys, hi me. But anyways, so Io Sky, she retains the title. I thought that was really cool.
And it was nice.
Yeah. Match number 2, again, I was surprised. So early, Sin City street fight, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Very elaborate entrance for Damian. There was fire. He stole Penta's fire. I was like, what? Because Penta didn't get a spectacular entrance. And I was surprised because he gets one every single Raw. But for Mania, you don't do it. So Damian comes out. Kerry King is performing his song.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, big match feel. I thought it was a really brutal match. Really good.
Yeah.
Only thing I would say, though, is that I would have loved them to fight all over the stadium. That's the only thing.
You said this. Do I agree with it?
It's a street fight, and if you can't be at the actual streets, the next best thing, let's be in the concession stands, let's be with the fans doing the most. But it was still brutal. I like the moment where Drew like pushed Damian into the 2 tables on the outside, and then the finish with the Claymore onto Damian with the chair around him, and Drew winning. That was so important. I was very happy about that because
finally,
for once, so
and
that
he
must be a challenger now for Jey Uso in future. I think he's being rightfully positioned. You were saying, can you stop complaining? What are you gonna say?
Yes, because it's like, okay, like now you finally have like one up. Is he going to look for a new victim now, like a new person to just?
He wanted to be the bloodline hunter at some point, so I don't know if he's gonna pick that up. We'll have to see.
Is there still a bloodline too?
Actually, also a good question. I don't know. Yeah, but Drew McIntyre gets the W. I was very, very happy about that. Then moving over to the Fatal 4-Way match for the IC title. Braun Breaker defending against Penta, Dirty Dom, as well as Finn Balor. Dirty Dom. Dirty Dom. The Vegas crowd was loving Dom, and I think he deserves this. I think it was an acknowledgement of, bro, you've been a great heel for the past like 3 years. We've been booing you out the building to the point where people thought noises are being piped in. You couldn't speak, and now it's Dom's moment.
We needed this. But this match was crazy.
It was incredible, right? That spear from Braun Breaker onto Carlito.
From one table also to the next, like.
It was those new tables like have been reinforced, so for them to break like 3 times in this Mania was quite something. So.
Like this match gave everything that it needed to, and actually Finn, good riddance.
Hi-bo.
He turned on Dom.
I think it was Dom who turned on Finn.
No, it was Finn. Finn turned on Dom, and I was like, oh, okay, so we're not a team.
VAR, I'm not sure about that, but Dirty Dom in the end doing the right thing, getting the frog splash on Finn, winning the title. The title looks so good on Dirty Dom. I love that. That was really cool. So,
but like after this though, like I like Finn, you like we even saw it on Raw. Like
he's not happy.
He's just not connected with this group anymore. And the thing is, he's making the same mistake Damien made when he was in the Judgment Day,
okay.
of thinking that he's the boss, you know,
And
he's
he's not.
number
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
you know, he controls everything. And I think, you know, Finn has a very big problem with Dom being the one to win, especially considering how he was speaking down on him.
Call him
and
a
everything.
loser. Dom's first win at Mania
Exactly.
in 4 attempts.
Exactly. So, you know, Finn is not happy about this. And on Raw, it did give that he wanted to sabotage.
And then
Dom
it's like,
a bit.
JD, why did you
You
come,
know,
bro?
so-
It was like, I'm the one who trained you. Why are you now doing things behind my back? So
I just need Finn to be alone now. Like, get him out of the Judgment Day. He is toxic. He is just bringing bad vibes to such a good and wholesome team.
Okay. We'll have to see how it's going to play out. And the way you're kind of positioning it, I think Finn remains the heel. And then Dirty Dom right now, I think he's the most over guy in the company.
Right.
I'm loving it. So
He is
really
the
dope
greatest luchador.
match. I would even say highlight of the night for me. That was really cool. Then, you know, next match, Randy Orton taking on a mystery opponent. Of course, KO injured, couldn't compete. And high expectations. We all thought maybe it will be
Very
Aleister
high.
Black, or maybe it's going to be Rusev. And then...
Or even Nick Aldis.
Yes,
Like,
I actually
we
wanted Nick Aldis.
Aldis.
Yeah. So and then we got Joe Hendry. That was a big surprise. And I think great moment for him. But I know you've got some thoughts on this.
But then what about Isdima, say TNA championship?
Oh, that is true. And initially, I didn't agree with you in the sense I thought it was a good moment for TNA, good moment for Joe Hendry.
No, but they're champion.
The L wasn't the problem. I think the
how
L
it
is after the match. Now,
Two
another
RKOs.
RKO. It's like, come on, bro. Now you're making the guy look weak. So I
Yeah.
do agree with you from that aspect. So, ish.
Like, I will always stand if, like, because the thing is, like, this wasn't even for the TNA championship or, like, or anything. Like, why is Randy, you know, fighting, like, a champion? And it's just like, we are making Joe Hendry look so weak right now. But, like, you saying, yeah, it was post, like, everything was like, okay, you had a problem with, like, all of that. But, I don't know. I like, for me, like, it just, because, like, it even seemed like Randy himself was like,
Oh, he wasn't
making me
this a
fight
bit.
this guy. Like, it
yeah.
gave that with, like, the facial expressions, like, that he had. And I mean, it was his 20th.
Yeah, 20th match. And
Exactly. So, like, Randy, like, deserved something, like, huge.
Massive, yeah.
Because the thing is, after this, nothing can be done. Joe Hendry's getting shipped off back to TNA.
Savage.
Like, let's do something with the people we have. And that's why it would have made sense with Nick Aldis.
But I guess also, even though actually, yeah, I agree with you. With Nick Aldis, it would have been fine, a one and done. Then Randy, like we saw now, Raw after Mania, moves on to the person who won the main event. Well, you guys know by now, John Cena. I don't have to do this. RKO, Backlash, St. Louis. I think that's going to be the thing. So, yeah, it was what it was. But still, big ups to Randy Orton. Even wearing the gear, a variation of it from like when he started in WWE. So his 20th WrestleMania, really impressive.
Yeah.
Nobody, it's only maybe Triple H and Undertaker who've got more matches than him. Who knows? But yeah, really good moment for him. That was cool. And then moving over now, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. The entrance of Logan Paul, top tier for me, holding a drone, and then all those camera angles of him. That was very nice.
It was cool.
And the drone shots in the ring, in the match was really nice. I enjoyed that. Like, I did think, the match could have been a little bit better. I know we spoke about how there wasn't as much meat going into it, but I was like, these guys are so athletic. They've got what it
And
takes.
that's what we were all expecting. That, like, just them and their athleticism will
carry the
save
match.
everything. It'll...
And yeah. Oh, shame. It's like you're saying, the less said, the better about that, yeah. But I did like, cameo guy, Karrion Kross. I thought that was really cool. He stopped Logan Paul's stooge from bringing in the brass knuckles, and then he tried to convince AJ, hey, use the knuckles. AJ's like, nah, and then that ended up being what was the detriment of AJ Styles. But Logan Paul getting the W, I think that's really important, because I'm going to keep saying this. He is my Money in the Bank winner in LA even. He's got to get the job done, and I see him eventually cashing in on Jey Uso. Calling it now. So, yeah. So that was the third last match. Then, Kengogo, I think you're going to have a lot to say about this one. WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line. We had Liv and Raquel defending against Lyra Valkyria, our IC champ. And a mystery partner. Bailey, we found out countdown to WrestleMania the night before. Someone attacked her, shoulder injury, and who's it gonna be?
Something's fishy.
I don't want them to do the same thing they did with the whole Jade story. It needs to be different, please, guys. Come on. So we need to find out who actually attacked.
Because it's giving that, because why don't we know who attacked?
And where are the cameras at? Come on, guys. We know the surveillance footage. So, but find Lyra. She hunts down a partner, and big surprise, the man. She's back. I say big surprise. I mean, there was the one lady in the crowd. She was like in tears. Yeah, but I figured it makes sense though. You know, the Irish connection, and also the history with Liv. I loved how Liv was selling the shock of, oh my gosh,
so what are we gonna do? Because she was there like just gloating, so who's gonna be your partner?
Can't, it's gonna be Becky Lynch. Solid match. They get the W, even though you didn't like the finish. No. Yeah, it was very the manhandle slam. Nope. Yeah, it was a bit abrupt for your liking.
And what is it like? What like they mustn't? Oh, okay, sorry, but like I don't like this thing now because it's like a pattern. Like literally, Becky will just like return and just get a win.
Oh, funny enough, yeah.
Because I've got PTSD.
With 2021, same Bianca. Stadium. Yeah, she just rocked up and won the title. But at least in this case, you know, she won the title, but we saw Raw after Mania. She lost the titles very next night and now has turned heel out of nowhere. That was a big surprise.
Because for me, I think what hurt the most is it's like Dom just like won, the IC title. So it's just like, can we have like that feel good moment with Liv and Raquel, just like everyone? But it's just like they walked out of Mania not champion. So it's like, why break my heart like that? And like, I don't know, it just didn't make sense. Like, Lyra, you're the women's IC champion, but you're also involved in the tag team division now. Like,
and she was really coming across like an afterthought. We saw even in the press conference afterwards, the post show. It was basically Becky, then it was Becky's daughter, then it was Lyra. Because Lyra had like one question right at the end.
Literally.
So, but I do hope now with the heel turn of Becky Lynch that the IC championship picture is going to become way more interesting. I see Becky winning the title. And then maybe Bailey comes back. Bailey versus Becky, SummerSlam. I think that could be a great match.
Yeah.
So finally, I think we're going to get something very interesting in that IC title picture. Yeah.
But yeah. That's that on there.
Yeah, and now the main event, the one we were all waiting for. John Cena hunting down his 17th world title, taking on Cody Rhodes. Of course, he got the job done, but it's how he got the job done.
No, but he didn't lie. He's ruining wrestling.
Everyone on the internet is mad.
What was that?
We were not okay as we were like... okay.
And also just bringing now Travis Scott into this. The moment where Travis Scott came out was so random.
Yeah, mismatched. The ref is not even down.
Nothing was happening.
And it took forever, a good 5 minutes.
I think that's another thing where it was just like...
Huh? It's like, okay.
They're literally waiting for you at this point. They're literally waiting for you. Like, in the... Like, it would have made more sense if they're fighting. The next thing we just hear like the music, going off or whatever. Cody gets a little distracted, or I don't know, but like just something like happens with them, and then as maybe Cody is getting the pin on John Cena, that's when Travis Scott like runs down, pulls the ref out, and it's like, okay, he actually did something,
there was a point where he did pull the ref, and
it was out for so long.
It was so outrageous. It's like, bro, there's no ways just after being pulled down you're down for so long. Yeah, it was a bit like of a mess. I did like that Cody at least he got his comeuppance doing the crossroads onto Travis Scott after Travis Scott punched him at Elimination Chamber. So I was very happy about that part. But then in the end, Cody has the title. They have a tug of war, and then low blow, hit to the face, and then Cena gets the job done. He's now 17 times world champion.
But it's so crazy. Like, this guy literally was like, you guys are not going to get anything from me, because like even his entrance, just the all black and just John Cena.
I love that.
And actually, like, now going in like onto his merch, like we shouldn't even have his face on his merch anymore because we don't deserve
you
it.
can't see it.
We can't see him, so we mustn't have John Cena on. Just John Cena. Like that's all you guys get. I'm ruining wrestling, and like I was just saying to you as well, you know, like he must just never like defend this title like ever. Come December, then it's just like okay,
deuces. But I think, you know, Adam Pearce has to force him to defend the title.
But then that's when he must sabotage, like he must create DQs and like all the like I said,
I don't have to do
ruining wrestling, and you guys may say I don't know how to wrestle. I don't have to.
The last real world champion. And for me, I love the fact that they're also doing a countdown of his dates now, because on Raw after Mania, he was like, okay, I had 36 dates. Now we've already got 27. Damn, hey, time is flying. So yeah, I think right decision in the end. Maybe the match didn't quite live up to expectations, but
that was the point.
Yeah, I guess.
Even though I was mad in the moment, now I can
you've
speak
got more
for
clarity.
it. But because like it's just like Cody, for you to win the title from Roman, so many people had to interfere. Like it was like this big, like spectacular. John Cena literally didn't have to do much to take it from you. And if that doesn't give ruining wrestling,
I think a lot of people were very disappointed as well. We got no Rock. And then also no Stone Cold in that segment. But I did like the fact that at least they brought him out the match before, just to kind of like manage our expectations. I'm just here to announce the attendance. I'm not here to actually do anything in the main event. So that was cool at least. Yeah. Lots of drama with Stone Cold as well with his ATV 4-wheeler thingy. Hey,
the speed.
Yeah, that guy, he was doing the most.
Like, but anyway, that's that on that. But
final thoughts on Mania 41. I know you had mixed emotions throughout the whole thing.
So we had a total of 14 matches. I enjoyed Cena.
Oh, when? You enjoyed Cena?
Oh, actually, no.
No.
I think I'm enjoying the storyline of
Cena.
Now
going forward.
Not the actual match. No. Okay, thank you for correcting me there. But, yeah. The women,
the triple threat, that was a good match.
Rhea and Bianca, really enjoyed that. You see, the fact that I have to think.
Yeah.
What else did I enjoy?
I think the street fight, Drew and Damien, was good as well.
I'd put it, okay, let's say I have a top 3. I would put that at number 3.
Okay.
Number 1
just
would be
night 2. Or are we doing
overall?
Overall, okay.
Yeah, so that's like my number 3. Number 1 would be for the IC title.
Okay.
I think that's like my match of the
even more than the men's triple threat. I think the men's triple threat's gone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Did I actually enjoy more than I was letting on now?
Let's do a combined top 5 out of the 14 matches. I think definitely the men's triple threat has to be number 1.
Okay.
Are we in agreement there?
Okay, that's number 1, but then IC title.
IC title can be number 2. Yeah, yes. Are we in agreement? Yeah. Then the street fight we can put at number 3 maybe.
No.
Oh, no, okay, fine. Who are we putting there instead?
We're putting the WWE Women's Championship.
Oh, Charlotte and Tiffy.
Are we?
Oh, the women. Okay, yeah. Actually, yes. We can put the triple threat, Io, Rhea, Bianca. Fine, we can put that at number 3.
This is tough. I actually should have thought about this before being bold to have a whole...
Let's put the women's triple threat at number 3. I'm fine with that. Number 4, the street fight is still kind of dangling. So street fight has to be number 4, number 5.
No, actually, we have a top 3.
Okay, just top 3. Okay, so...
because I can't put the others in there. Like, yes, Tiffany retained. It was nice.
But
I wasn't blown away.
Sure, yeah.
You know, like, yes, she was banged up, but I wasn't blown away. You know? So, actually, no, I'm not putting that in there. Okay. And then with... the triple threat as well, the women, like...
You don't want to put it in there now.
I don't know how I feel. I think I'm just bitter over how we're treating Bianca.
Oh, that's why. Yeah,
I have a sour, like, literally, I think I'm just bitter.
We could
like,
always put El Grande in number 3 if you want.
But then you see, like...
I have to pin you down. I have to pin you down. So, we're going to put the men's triple threat as number 1. We're going to put the Fatal 4-Way for the IC title at number 2. We're going to put the Women's Triple Threat at number 3. That's it. I'm putting my foot down.
Okay. That is our top
That's
3.
our top 3, guys. Let us know what your top 3 was for the entirety of WrestleMania 41. Was it a hit? Was it a miss for you guys?
What are the ratings?
Yeah, what are the ratings as well? Yeah, let us know, guys. Like, what did you think about Mania 41? But the one thing, though, about WrestleMania is that, like, it always gets us going. And Mania 42, we're putting it out there into the universe. Hopefully, things can happen. We can be there in New Orleans. Caesar's super dope. We want to be there. There's still a chance we could get Rock versus Roman there. That could be the main event. Yeah. We know Seth is going to play a big part with Braun Breaker as well in his corner, and Paul Heyman for that matter. So yeah, that's going to be it for episode 6 of Wrestling with Love. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and we'll check you in the next one.
Bye.
We're out.